What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe. As you tune into the channel, you check out the content, man. And in this video, man, I want to talk about the message that Victor Wembanyama is sending to not only Shea Gilgeous, but to Chet Holmgrem, right? He Victor already said that in so many words, that he felt like he wants to be the MVP. Like he think he should be the MVP. And the way he's playing, um, you know, you can't really doubt it. When somebody comes out and says that they think that they should be the MVP, and then they go out and play the way that Victor Wembanyama is playing. I mean, you can't do nothing but just take your hat off and commend them. So that's number one. And then on top of that, when it comes to Chet Holmgren, I think Victor Wembanyama wants to set himself apart from Chet Holmgren. You have Victor Wembanyama, I think he's like 7'5". Chet Holmgren is 7 feet 1 inches, so they're kind of close in size. I think it's separated by about 3 or 4 inches. And Victor Wembanyama wants there to be no doubt that he is way better than the Chet Holmgren, right? And Chet Holmgren playing Victor Wembanyama out there on the court, man, it's just not really. He just looked like he's outclassed, and I don't know if he's intimidated, but he's getting there late. He's allowing smaller players to play Victor when it should be him. He should be the primary guy on Victor Wembanyama, right? And Stephen A. Smith spoke about this, and I want to play that audio of Stephen A. Smith speaking on this. And also, I want to come back and add some of my commentary to it, because I said the same thing. Like, in my opinion, the only way you're going to be able to, if you're OKC, to have a chance of beating Victor Wembanyama is you're going to have to not really stop him, but you're going to have to cancel out. Like you have a guy that's over 7 feet. OKC got a guy that's over 7 feet. So those two guys, Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, are going to basically have to cancel each other out. And then it'll be up to the rest of the guys on either team just to see who can win. But you can't allow Victor Wembanyama to dominate the way he's been dominating and then think that you're going to have a chance to beat these guys in a seven game series. So let's listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say about this matchup. Then I want to come in and get some more of my input.
But Chet Holmgren, we have to talk about him. Yo, bro, I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at Chet Holmgren, Mike Wilbon, Cameron, Chet Holmgren, what's up? What's up? We heard all of this noise, all of these years. Supposedly, I don't know, never asked him, but y'all don't necessarily get along. Y'all don't really like each other, you and Wembanyama, obviously. I understand he's 7'5". Bro, you ain't 6'5", you 7'1". Right. You understand? You got skills. You can play. I'm looking at this and I'm like, how Wemby doing what he's doing? But to compare that and juxtapose that to Chet Holmgren doing nothing offensively.
Not only offensively, like he should, as a big man, he should take that personally. Like that challenge, that's the challenge that really, in my opinion, that he should want. Anytime he's dominating against somebody who's smaller than him, and I'm talking about Chet, he's more boisterous and more animated and stuff like that. But this right here should show that, okay, you are a real basketball player and a real competitor. And these are the type of challenges that you should get up for. Anytime you play against Victor Wembanyama, if you check Holmgren, you got to get up for this game. You got to get up for this game. And if he don't get up for this game, it's going to show a lot about how he is built and what he's made of.
Nothing offensively. It's like, damn, you got to accept that challenge. And then when you watch Wembanyama close the deal in the 2 overtimes, 5 or 6 shooting, 14 points in the 2 overtimes, right? You can't have Alex Caruso. It's one thing to guard him on the perimeter. I get that. You get up under him. You try to make it uncomfortable. You understand what I'm saying? Try to take his legs out from under him. Make sure he gonna get comfortably set to launch a J. Got that part. But anything in the paint area, you can't have an Alex Caruso or a Jalen Williams or somebody guarding him. That's supposed to be Chet Holmgren going like, Coach, I got this. I got this assignment. That's supposed to be Hartenstein. I got this assignment. It can't be cats a foot shorter than him trying to guard him in the post. I mean, listen, put it to you this way. We in the park. Mm-hmm. It could be Ruck. It could be West 4th. It could be anywhere, right? If you see a dude in the post area, right, and you see somebody half their size on them, you gonna go like this, no, we got to get somebody else on them. And who's that person? The person closest to their size. Right. Where the hell is Chet Holmgren?
And that's basic. That's like Stephen A. Smith. That's basic common sense, right? You because you want to offer some type of resistance, and the guy Caruso is a foot shorter than probably more than a foot shorter than Wemby. He can't really do anything. He can't offer any type of resistance or affect this shot at all, right? So you definitely want to put Holmgren out there. As a matter of fact, I think Chet Holmgren moves well enough in order to play him out there at least like about 15 feet away from the basket, because you even on the guy's jumper, Wemby's jumper, you still want to be able to at least put a hand up. Like if Caruso or one of those other guys put a hand up, and you talking about a guy that's 7 feet tall, over 7'5", you're not going to be able to like obstruct his view or anything or alter his shot anyway. So you got to have Chet Holmgren. In this series, you got to have Chet Holmgren play him, even if it's 15 feet away from the basket, 15 to 20 feet away from the basket. You saw the way, like, if you watched that game, you saw how Wembanyama pulled up for a three, like 25 feet away from the basket and just drained that three, right? Now, Chet Holmgren probably wouldn't have been able, when you got a guy that can hit, he probably wouldn't have been able to do too much about that. But you got to be able to, affect this shot at least 15 feet away from the basket, I would say, right? Now, this, like I said, this right here is just going to go to show what Chet Holmgren is made out of. I'm looking at Chet Holmgren and I'm looking at his demeanor and his expressions. He got dunked on at least 2-3 times, man, and just looked like he was defeated. They need Chet Holmgren to step up. If Chet Holmgren do not step up for OKC, then I don't see how they're going to be able to you're going to be able to combat a guy that's 7 feet 5 inches tall. You got to be able to offset some of that and combat that. But I don't know. This is going to be a great test for Chet to show like what he's really made of.
I mean, you're 7'1". You're 7'1". It ain't like this is, it's not like you're 6'5" and he's a foot taller than you. You letting guys guard that man. And I know Dagnall the coach, and he's an exceptional coach. He's a champion, and he's sitting up there and he's giving assignments. But damn it, you know this, Wilbon, better than all of us, okay, with all the years you've covered the NBA. If somebody's in the vicinity of your size and they wreaking havoc, all the great players we've covered throughout the decades, who's not raising their hand? Yo, I got this. Ron Harper in The Last Dance, what did he talk about? And I bring him up because his son is special. Dylan Harper is special, y'all. He is special. Make no mistake about a rookie, y'all. 24-11 with 7 steals. That brother is special. But Ron Harper, what was the thing in The Last Dance, Wilbon, that he complained about? Michael Jordan's famous shot over Greg Elo. He wanted the defensive assignment and wasn't given it. He wanted it. And Lenny Wilkins said, no. I'm going to say Greg Elo. He's like, all right. But
that's a good point. And you don't even have to be a great player. Like sometimes you just have to step up and take that challenge, knowing that Caruso is in over his head. I think, and it's so obvious that Chet Holmgren will be able to affect this guy's shot a lot better than somebody like Caruso, who's like, probably a foot shorter than him, right? So this series right here is going to go I don't see them getting past the Spurs if Chet Holmgren don't step up. They can get past the Spurs if the guy Shea struggles a little bit, because I've seen how they played without Shea in the lineup. That, you know what I mean, they have other guys who can score and do, and contribute in that manner. But you can't have this guy Wembanyama just wreaking havoc like that, man. And then you got another 7-footer. And then when Stephen A. Smith even mentions the coach, right? When you talk about coaching, when it comes to the coach, he should demand more of Chet Holmgren. Like, don't be just like a front runner, and then like when you have smaller guys on you, you dominating and stuff like that. Step up to this challenge. We need you to step up to this challenge to help us get to this next level. But I don't know. It don't look like Chet Holmgren is going to do that, in my opinion. It just don't look like. I mean, he hasn't showed me that he's built like that to want to step up to that type of challenge. Now, what's going to have to, and I'm going to talk about this in other videos, but Wembanyama is raising the bar when it comes to basketball, and he's causing other teams to, he's raising the bar, and so other teams are going to have to counter what Wembanyama brings to the table. And what you do to counter what Wembanyama brings to the table is you get physical with him. Not with somebody like Chet Holmgren, but you need real power forwards from like back in the day. Now, what I got happening is I think that Wembanyama probably is going to win a couple championships, maybe 3 championships, right? And I think gradually the league is going to have to adjust to him and start bringing in some guys like, like Terry Cummings, like those old school power forwards, man, who just used to lean on you and push you away from the basket and make sure that they beat you up all game long. Because I've seen, it's already been determined that Wembanyama can be pushed off of his spot, right? And so when it comes to rebounding at either end, if you put a power forward on him, he can he can be pushed off of his spot just because, like he don't have that low center of gravity like those guys do. He wouldn't be as strong as those, like the power forwards, right? So that's what's going to happen. But for right now, you need Chet Holmgren, in my opinion, to step up and answer that call. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.